This is an incredibly simple recipe to put together. I think I shared this one back in 2010. I'm just updating some of the older videos as we go along. Here I have 1 pound of yard bean. We call it Bodi. Nice and long. You know, I'm in Canada, right? Technically, when we grow this in the Caribbean, it's a bit more thick than this, a bit more meaty and stuff like that, but I'm not complaining. We are going to make an ultimate vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free dish this morning. Meat-free Monday continues. Fry Bodi, and all we want to do is the sort of stem there. We will snip that off. The bottom, snip that off, and then we're going to cut it up into 1.5 inch pieces. That's it. It's thoroughly washed, by the way. And there we go, all prepped and ready. The Bodi or yard bean or bora. It's already been cut up, trimmed, cut up, washed. I washed it for a second time. We're gonna need some salt, some coconut milk, onion, garlic, tomato, and a couple of these bird's eye or bird pepper. Totally optional. If you don't want it hot, if you don't want it hot and spicy, you don't need to add these. I want a little kick. And you know, I said a little kick because that's why I'm not using Scotch bonnet or anything more spicy. You'll also need some olive oil, or if you wanted to use coconut oil, vegetable oil, any of those would work. I've got 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil on a low flame. And to that, I've got here 1/2 a medium onion, all diced up, and 5 cloves of garlic that I just gave a smash to. And my heat is on low because I don't want to burn anything, yeah? Lately I've noticed, I don't know if you guys have been watching my videos, but I'm always confirming everything with a yeah. I don't know where that's coming from, yeah? Some fresh ground black pepper. And we just want to sweat this down just to pull out all those flavors from that garlic, the pepper, and the onion without burning anything. So I'm just gonna leave that on the low heat for 2 to 3 minutes. And you know, earlier I said olive oil. I'm using a really good olive oil. That's gonna impact some flavor as well. And this is why I said, and I mentioned that you can also use coconut oil, which will bring another flavor to the game to add to the coconut milk that we're gonna put in this. That said, when mommy would make this, that commotion you're hearing is just Zaire with his toys. I apologize. When mommy would make this, she technically she never did put coconut milk in it. I like it with coconut milk. It's now time to add the Bodi to the pot. That little sizzle that you're hearing there, that's just the water from washing it. Just gonna scrape that down, and we're gonna hit that to mix. I want to coat the Bodi with the flavors that we developed there. The last one for Soldier, Titanic, Rose. Come save. Anyhow, another one. Anyhow, we're gonna give that a good mix. Go in with salt. Later on we can adjust the salt. In goes the tomato that we diced up, and the tomato is just going to bring that acidity to help balance off the flavors. Give that another quick stir. Got that coconut milk in there, and I want to bring that up to a boil. And just before that happens, I'm adding the 2 bird's eye pepper to the mix there. Yeah, you must have seen my camera come into focus there. Hit that to mix as it starts to come up to a boil. I'm just gonna put the lid on there to help it come up to a boil. Then I'm gonna reduce it to a simmer just to to get this nice and tender. If you don't have access to Bodi, as I use here, or yard bean, or snake bean, or boras, so many different names, you can use French beans, string beans, any sort of beans that you like. You can replicate the same dish, and I've done that on CaribbeanPod.com. The other thing I wanted to mention is earlier when we had the onion and garlic in there, if you wanted to add some jeera seeds or cumin seeds, I'm not the biggest fan of jeera or cumin, so I don't, but if you wanted to add in maybe 1/4 teaspoon of those, yeah, a nice little additional flavor. It will only take a couple minutes before it to come up to a boil. This will take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes or longer to get tender, depending on the variety of Bodi that you're using, because there are different varieties. This here is the skinny version, as I pointed out earlier. So I'm going to put my lid back on there. I'm going to reduce my heat down to a simmer and then let that cook. I just removed the lid, and the sort of white residue that you're seeing there, that is just the fats from the coconut milk. I'm going to crush my bird's eye pepper or bird pepper like so. I want to release that heat, and I'm just going to leave the lid off, crank up the heat. This is nice and tender. At this point you will taste it for salt. I'm going back to the whole white residue that you're seeing there. This is why mommy never used coconut milk in hers. And you don't have to, but I love the flavor, that sweetness that the coconut milk brings to the game. We're going to crank up the heat to medium-high now of the stem of the pepper. I'm just going to remove it, toss that in the rubbish. I should have taken it off before I put the pepper in there, but small thing, it looked pretty on camera. We're just going to burn off all that liquid now, and yo, thing done. Sup, soldiers? Listen, if you enjoy this recipe, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and click that bell notification thing. If you've made the recipe, take a picture and send it to me. Email address down here. I mean, trying to tell people the email address, them butts will take the address and do all kind of thing with it. And tag me on Instagram at Caribbean Pot. I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for being in my kitchen with me today. Irie? Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Meat Free Monday. We did fry Bodi in coconut milk. You don't need to do the coconut milk if you don't want to. And remember, another stem. If you don't have Bodi or Bora or yard bean or snake bean or whatever else name it goes by, French beans, string beans, any sort of beans will work. Any sort of green beans will work for you. In total, it cooked, after we added the beans, it cooked for 25 minutes. In total, I'm going to shut off the stove now. And you see my bird's eye there, my bird pepper. I bust that boy, things smelling nice. Remember to taste it for salt. And if you'd like to see more vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free recipes, drop a comment down below. Irie? What's up, soldiers? Don't forget to click subscribe. If you've already clicked subscribe, hit that bell notification thing. I want to all you missing out on the new videos, man. Come on, click.